The highest spiritual truth is that reality is one. That reality, when personified as the Divine Mother, expresses itself in countless ways. The Ten Mahavidyas, or the wisdom goddesses, represent distinct aspects of divinity intent on guiding the spiritual seeker towards liberation. Kali is the first of the 10 Mahavidyas and the fiercest aspect of Goddess Durga. Kali is considered as the goddess of time and change. She presides over the time before the creation of the universe. Kali is represented as a consort of Lord Shiva. Her abode is cremation grounds and her weapons are Kripan and Trishul. She represents the power of consciousness in its highest form. She is at once supreme power and ultimate reality. The earliest descriptions of Kali belong to the Purans, which place her on the battlefield. The Devi Mahatmya vividly depicts a scene with Kali and her associated goddesses, ready to take on an army of demons. Here Kali has emerged as the personified wrath of the Divine Mother Durga. She appears emaciated with dark flesh hanging loosely from her bones. Her sunken eyes grow red in their sockets. She is clad in tiger skin and carries a skull-topped staff. A garland of human head adorns her neck. Her gaping mouth shows her to be fearsome, bloodthirsty deity. The battle culminates with the slaying of the two demon generals, Chand and Mund, and this act earns her the name Chamunda. In the next episode, Chamunda takes on the demon Raktabij. His name means he whose seed is blood. Whenever a drop of his blood falls upon the ground, another demon of equal size and strength springs up. In the battle, he sheds blood profusely until the world is teeming with Raktabij. Just when the battle looks hopeless and the onlooking gods despair, Chamunda roams the battlefield avidly, lapping up the blood and crushing the nascent demons between her gnashing teeth. Finally drained of his last drop of blood, Raktabij topples lifeless to the ground. Away from the battlefield, Kali assumes more benign forms. As Dakshina Kali, she is portrayed as young and beautiful, standing on the supine, ash-besmeared body of Shiva, who looks up at her adoringly. Shiva is absolute consciousness, ever blissful in its own glory. Kali is consciousness in motion, the overflowing joy that projects, sustains, and withdraws the universe. Consciousness and its power are one and the same reality. On the surface, this appears to be a grisly tale, but it symbolizes profound insight. Raktabij's amazing replicative ability symbolizes the human mind's ordinary state of awareness. The mind is constantly in motion, and one thought begets another in an endless succession. The mind rarely rests and is never fully concentrated. In the light of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, we can understand Chamunda is the power to restrain the mind's endless modulations, to stop them altogether. When all mental activity ceases, that state is called yoga. Consciousness resting in its own infinite peace and bliss. Represented by Chamunda's imbibing of every drop of blood, the soul regains knowledge of its own original divinity. Chamunda Kali's battle scene represents the resorption of fragmented human awareness into transcendental wholeness. Kali is boundless. Nothing can contain her who is infinite. Her loose flowing hair also represents freedom, in this case the freedom from social convention, from all the conditioning that has been imposed on us and that we impose on our own minds. Our true nature is unconditioned consciousness, Nirgun Chaitanya. Another symbol of freedom can be found in the girdle of severed human arms that circles her waist. This represents the divine power to cut through the bonds of karma. It is the power inherent in our own consciousness, a freedom of choice in the movement that can also be taken as a sign of divine grace. Kali is represented as standing in the battleground with one of her feet on the chest of supine Lord Shiva. Her tongue hangs out of her mouth in astonishment for putting her leg on the chest of Lord Shiva. Her complexion is dark and her facial expressions are ferocious. She is depicted with 4 hands. In one of the upper hands she holds bloody kripan, and in the other upper hand she holds severed head of a demon. In one of the lower hands she holds a bowl in which she collects blood which drips from the demon's severed head in upper hand. The lower hand is shown in Varada Mudra. She is depicted wearing a garland which is made of human skulls or severed heads. In lower body she wears girdle made of severed human arms. In some representations, one of the upper hands of Kali is shown in Varada Mudra, and one of the lower hands holds a Trishul. Kali sadhana is done to conquer over enemies. Kali sadhana helps to defeat and make enemies powerless. It is also performed to destroy diseases, to get rid of wicked spirits, wicked planets, fear of sudden death, and to gain poetic skills. If you like the video, show some support by subscribing the channel. Thank you.